I guess we can go to Genius Hour. 20% time. We call it Spark here.
Allowing the kids to find something to learn about, find their passion, and then pursue it and do something with it. We've seen kids become rock stars.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
We've had third graders perform in front of the board.
Right, yeah.
We had the little girl working with Makey.
Yep.
And she made the poster, and she
programmed in Scratch.
She had a laptop hooked up to the poster, so when she pressed the picture of the bird, the sound of the birds chirping went off. The entire board, I mean, all you heard was, "Whoa, what the heck?" Like they couldn't believe. And she, when she heard that reaction, she giggled. And then she, all she wanted to do was press that. It was like Pavlov's dog. She goes, "Ooh, I can make him drool. Let's keep it going." It's just great to see him shine. And like you said, you have to get up and talk, and you have to be able to talk to people. So what better to hone those skills than to talk about things you want to talk about and you're passionate about.
And I think like one of the things that, I like that Don Wettrick has done with Genius Hour, his innovations class, is he talks about the rule of thirds, right? So your project has to be able to hit these 3 rules that he has. One is, are you passionate about it? Is it really something you're really interested in? And, even when the struggle happens, you're still going to want to continue.
Right.
That's passion.
Struggle happens. Things happen.
Exactly. Are you going to learn some new skills from this, project? And third is, are you going to be able to impact someone else other than yourself?
Help someone else.
Right. Again, you're not just doing it for you.
Don't be a taker, right? Is that what I forget what they talk about? Be a maker, not a taker. Something like that.
But yeah, I think if you do Genius Hour, where you're giving the kids an hour a week, or look, if you can do it more, great.
Well, I know when we first started talking about it, 20% time, I took it literally. I'm like, Ron, that's like 7 periods a week. I think I don't know how to make that happen. And it was great because we moved it to 1 day, 1 period.
Right.
And the kids have opportunities. I mean, there's downtime in the classroom.
Right.
Let's face it.
And when you have that downtime,
why not work on your Spark project?
Right.
And not that kids, there's plenty of things to do. Some kids do say, well, I'd just rather read, and I'm never going to stop that.
No.
But when you have kids say, ooh, can I get into this? And can I work on my website to show?
Right.
And I know that was one thing I struggled with, and, thinking, well, how am I going to help everyone? And I think you were like, not every kid has to go and cure cancer.
Right.
And when talking to another teacher, a kid wanted to start to study Minecraft, and it was a 4th grade teacher who's doing Spark, and she goes, well, I don't think you could just study Minecraft, so how can you help? So the kid ended up trying to figure out something to do with Minecraft and kids that maybe might be missing a limb or something like that. And I kind of said, well, even if they just wanted to study Minecraft and help, and
do a tutorial video on how to get started.
This is how you get started. Yeah. This is the best element to make with, and this is how it's so. And that was big. And the second big, or I guess another big thing, would be giving them that free reign.
Right.
That's scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like you said, I mean, it doesn't have to be this gigantic thing, but the more you do it, the bigger the projects can become.
Most definitely.
And you have kids out there. I know you were saying the other day, like you have some student who wants to learn guitar.
Yes.
Learn to write music and create songs. I mean, you might have a kid out there. I know with like America's Got Talent and all those, ventriloquism has become super popular.
Okay.
So maybe you have the kid who wants to learn about ventriloquism, and, they could build a puppet. They could, watch videos on how to do ventriloquism, and maybe then they could do a performance for a class for a younger grade.
Right.
Well,
and that's, talking about that little girl with guitar. We've hooked her up with the
With
middle
the-
school
right,
girl, right,
right.
who's done podcasts in here,
Yeah, yeah.
playing her songs. Which was Mr. Winkleman, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Mr. Winkleman set that up
He
for her?
set it up. He had her do a little concert
Okay.
for some of the kids, and kids were coming to me super excited, like, she gave me a pick. I got a pick.
And and so I went right to her and I said, hey, listen, I have this little girl in class, and so the 8th grader, like, her hand goes over her heart. She's like, I would love to talk to that little, so the type of connections it made.
Yeah, right.
Last year when we had the kids that wanted to learn how to train dogs,
Right.
we hooked them up with your wife,
my wife,
and
yeah.
so we have these people from within the community, but outside the school setting,
Right.
experts in their fields, were willing to come in and talk to 8-year-old kids. One kid built a website. The other kid made a video of him this is how you would do the training, and then they put the video in the website.
That's awesome, right?
At
What
8 years
skills?
old,
Yeah.
at 8 years old, and they presented the board, and once again, these adults are just their jaws dropped.
Right.
They're floored with the stuff they're doing. And you talk about Wettrick, you see him on Twitter. His kids want to meet someone or talk to someone
Right.
about. He gets out there on Twitter,
Yeah.
and they're
And they make it happen.
and they come together, and it's just it's bringing the learning outside of the classroom.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a huge one. To give yourself a try for Genius Hour, and you don't have to know everything about Genius Hour. Do a Google search. There's plenty of stuff out there on Genius Hour.
Get his book. Wettrick's
Right.
got a book out there. It's
20%
softback.
yeah.
It's not
Easy.
expensive.
Yep. And we'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, we've started. I guess we've been doing something like that for about 2 years. I know I've been doing it, and I watched you do it in your class.
I gave it a little run through.
And during one of our RTI periods, a student raised his hand and said, "Can I work on this?" And I came to you. I said, "Yo, can they do it? Does it just have to be?"
Right.
And you're like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
So it was just really cool to see that spark, and now it sparked an initiative in our
whole
district.
School, the whole district.
And you see more and more teachers moving that way, with our spark time, with making in the classroom,
Right.
and it's really cool to see our district grow like
Right.
that.